Oh, about damn time that thing worked. Okay, now here's an update going on, folks. Uh, it's of course, as you all know, over the last few hours, 24 hours or so, a lot of weirdness has been hitting. Oh man, and there's been varying reports here, varying reports there, and like I said, I still am a little weirded out over this whole situation because I'm still getting reports saying, certain things. And yet now we've got the Radio Times out there trying to say this was all a nasty rumor. All right. So if I can find my notes here real quick, because somebody actually wrote the BBC. I got to go find it here in my inbox. Um, and they got a pretty weird response. Okay, now I'm gonna wait for yeah, I just found it. Mark Mangan, who watches this channel, wrote the British Broadcasting Corporation. I'm assuming he sent them a message via the usual channels. Okay, he did contact them via email. Okay, I missed that bit. And all right, let's go with what the Radio Times says. All right, this is the Radio Times article. I'll send you the link for it so you can watch it. When the stream's done, I'll have it down in the description box. If you've not seen this yet, okay, it says right here, they're saying that showrunner Chris Chibnall and star Jodie Whittaker have not, in capital letters, quit the BBC sci-fi series, according to insiders. They've not cited an official source, and that's what has me going, scratching my head a little bit about this as to how they've put the hammer down based on a non-named person. Now, there's been rumors going around that this thing started on Gallifrey Base, and then it spread out from there and it hit different people around the community. All right, here we go. This is what they have, and I quote, rumors have swirled over the last couple of days that Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall has quit the long-running BBC sci-fi series, with unsubstantiated reports also suggesting the lead actor Jodie Whittaker has departed in sympathy. Notice they don't mention the firing bit, However, RadioTimes.com now understands there is no truth in the speculation about Chibnall and or Whittaker's departures, and with show insiders bewildered by false rumors that they bear little resemblance to the reality of Series 12 filming. Now, if you scroll down here a bit, quote, this is all total nonsense, end quote, a well-placed Doctor Who source told RadioTimes.com. This has originated and spread to the online rumor mill. And it says right here, and it's kind of obvious what they mean. Apparently, the new rumors originated on a quote-unquote popular Doctor Who message board before being spread on social media platforms, with many fans anticipating an official announcement about either Chibnall or Whittaker's departure imminently, while also speculating about which other regular writers could be stepping in to take over. Now, here's the thing as we go through this. They've not cited an official source. And you got to remember, I wouldn't doubt the Radio Times, but at the same time, I'm still a bit suspicious because, they're not the official spokespeople for the BBC. So while it's nice that they're trying to dispel this if it is a rumor, they've not said anything about Chibnall being fired. They're saying that this rumor was Chibnall quit and then Jodie would. No, the rumor was that Chris Chibnall was fired and then Jodie Whittaker and several others quit. It wasn't anything to do with Chibnall being fired. So that right there has got me going. So I don't know. Okay, let's keep moving here real quick. When you get to the bottom of the article, he goes, however, many others pointed out the unlikely nature of the longtime Doctor Who writer departing the showrunner position mid-series, while some noted that similar rumors relating to Chibnall's exit had been suggested and disproven on more than one occasion since he took over the top job in 2017. Now, as it stands, both Chibnall and Whittaker are set to continue filming Series 12 in the coming weeks and months, though exactly what they're shooting is a bit of a mystery apart from their return of the Blood Jadoon and hints of a wartime France episode. And little or no information has been shared about where the 13th Doctors and her friends will go and eagerly wait new episodes. Wherever they go, one thing's for sure, the team aren't going their separate ways yet. Now, like I said, the thing that's got me worried here is they don't mention the Chibnall was fired bit. They're saying that it's not true that Chibnall quit. Now, and here's the other thing. From what I was told, now the article they're referring to back in 2017 was the Starburst magazine article, which turned out that, yes, Chibnall had threatened to quit. He didn't actually do it, but it had taken place months before the actual article got printed out. So, and that's right, John. That's what I mean. The Radio Times is no longer an official spokesperson for the British Broadcasting Corporation. And also, they're citing an unknown source. Now, if an administrator had said something, I'd be a little bit calmer today. I am a wee bit calmer because they're trying to diffuse the tension. But the thing is, I'm not all the way calm yet, okay? So, all right, now that we've got a few of you in here, let me read this, because Mark Mangan, who watches this channel, he emailed the BBC, and this is what he got. Okay, let me read this for you, and I quote. He sent me a message earlier today. He said, I contacted the BBC about Chibnall rumors via email, and they said this, quote, hello, Mark. Thanks for getting in touch. I can understand that being such a big fan of this beloved program, you have concerns about rumors of on-set issues involving both the writers and the main actors. I think the key word here is quote-unquote rumor, and as I'm sure you have experienced personally, stories can be exaggerated greatly on social media and sometimes even fabricated. We have not been made aware of any such issue with filming, and as Doctor Who is such an important part of the BBC's DNA, I can only imagine that all those involved in the making of the new series will be doing everything possible to make sure that they produce another excellent series. So fingers crossed it returns to your screens very soon. Regards, Trevor Hamp, BBC Inquiries team. He doesn't address the question, does he? He kind of like tap dances around it, because he doesn't say it's not true, but at the same time, he says it could be a rumor. You see what I mean? You got to watch language in some of these things. That's what I'm beginning to think. Thank you. There's my favorite. Well, it's almost my favorite. There's damage control, and my other favorite one, spin control. Yeah, you have to remember, guys, that they've been saying the show is going to return early 2020 for a while now, so that's not a big surprise. Yeah, but that's all he sent me was the reply he was given by the Inquiries team. Like I said, I'm calmed down a bit. And also there was people touting on about a major announcement today. No announcement occurred as usual. But like I said, I was getting this guy, and this guy, and this guy over here saying he's fired. And then I had later on, I had 2 or 3 people saying, wait a minute, it's a rumor. And then I had this, middle crowd who was gathered here like in the center of the forefront going, well, he not only got fired, but then I heard, Jodie Whittaker had walked. Then there was another one saying Bradley Walsh stormed off the set and, shit like that. So, like I said, I didn't mean to panic anyone last night, really, but it's just, I don't know, something had to have happened. Because when you've got that much smoke, there had to have been some fire to it. Now, as I said last night, there were talks going on that I had heard about. And I'm beginning to wonder if, yes, they've managed to spin this under the rug or sweep it under the rug. So I was going to do a regular news report tonight, but I'm like, screw it. Now I got to scroll back and get caught up because you guys popped on a lot quicker. Oh no, look, I vaped. The whole video shot right there, man. I might as well went out and, clubbed the baby seal on camera, Yet the guy who goes out and makes fun of dead people hanging in a forest in Japan doesn't get a single thing done to them until, what do you call it? The people go, excuse me, guys, what the hell's going on? You do realize he's standing next to a dead body making a joke about it. But if I vape on camera, all of civilization will end. I'm deeply sorry. Say goodbye to your loved ones. Because, oh, look, you're corners. At least that's the only common thread I could find in any of those videos, because they do have a big thing about use of tobacco or tobacco-related products. And I'm like, I've been vaping on camera for a while now, so this is a new thing. Whatever happened in the United States, the no ex post facto laws, but apparently since it's a corporation, they're allowed to do it. One guy did tell me whose books that it could be 2 to 3 days before an official announcement, and that was as of yesterday. So that could be Monday. But it's kind of weird though that there's a you just brought up, Phil. There's a big quiet going on. Now, some other folks mentioned that there's other people out, like Doomcock and all that, who've made videos about this. Has anyone watched those, and what did they say? I don't know. I know who he is, but I'm so busy these days, I barely have time to watch my own channel, For you folks who are curious, lines are out for episode 7 of What Lies Beneath from Dr. Freedom and Eric. And believe it or not, you can't get secondhand smoke even if you were in this room, because the vape doesn't let things out on smoke. It has no second carcinogens. There was no announcement for the, it was supposed to have been at 2:30 p.m. UK time today, aka 9:30 this morning, and all you got was a Radio Times article. That's not an announcement. So there was no announcement. So as of right now, we have to treat this as rumor. But at the same time, I'm heavily suspicious because no one's outright denied it. And the Radio Times is saying, well, Chibnall didn't quit. No, the word was, idiots, that Chibnall was fired. Nobody said anything about him quitting. The last thing that said anything about him quitting was back in 2017, and that was Starburst Magazine. You see what I mean? Because now, if this did hit the fan, they can walk out and go, well, we were telling the truth. He didn't quit. Plus the fact that I can't believe that the Doctor Who channel anywhere has not said anything official about this. That's like, and then I got another guy. You're right. Like John just said, some guy was trying to say it'd be funny if it turned out it was a joke, just to test, to find out where the leakers are. And I'm like, really? Considering how widespread this was, good luck on that. Because this was all over the damn place. I know if this turns out to be a rumor, and like I said, there's one good thing that came out of it. And that's the fact that, if it turns out that some people were getting fed misinformation, now we know, hey, you got to be a bit more careful later down the line. I know there's a couple sources that were pouncing me stuff that were pretty much, sketchy anyway. And, you'd think Rothlock, would have issued a statement, BBC Cymru Wales, saying, look, this is all bullshit. Did anyone I haven't seen any signs of any filming that was going on today. I don't know if they were. Like I said, I've been busy as hell today. It's just been I've been sitting here literally going through emails. Doctor Who TV, though, I believe somebody just mentioned the Doctor Who TV article. Let me bounce over there really quick for you. I think I haven't used them in a long time. I think I still have their page. Matter of fact, it says right here that they're quoting the Radio Times. And they're saying the exact same thing the Radio Times did. The Radio Times has now stepped in with a well-placed source telling them this is all total nonsense. But it says right here, though, I got to give Doctor Who TV some credit. The last line of this is this. Get ready. Quote, There's still not been any official, and they put it in italics, announcements from the BBC. So basically, it's a case of who do you believe at this point? And that's what's got me really, really like still a little bit on the freaky side, because nobody's talking. Oh, true. That's very, very true. Like I said, this could all turn out to be a rumor. I'd like it to be, even though there's a few people out there who are cheering for it to be true. But I've been telling people this: if this turns out to be true, and the BBC has resorted to firing showrunners because they didn't toe the line or give them what they wanted, if you think Series 11 was bad, just wait till you see what would happen if the showrunner can no longer be creative. The showrunner has to follow an established set of guidelines that, it'll get 10 times worse. You might as well dig up Mary Whitehouse from the grave and have her running the show if you think a bunch of guys in suits are going to know what you want or what you like to want. Now, like I said, I've been going crazy because so many people have been harping on this and that, and I'm like, these are the same people who were bitching that Moffat's plots were too complex, his storylines were too convoluted, and his series arcs were getting to be beyond baloney, and they were just difficult to understand. And yet a guy comes in, he basically waters everything down a bit. He, turned it down a bit. And I know he went a little too crazy on the optimism, enthusiasm thing. But at least somebody tried to change it. Somebody said, look, I want to go in this direction. Let's try it. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're in deep shit. Ratings, like I said, were plummeting. Series 10 had an average of 5.5 million viewers. I do not blame Peter Capaldi for that. I think he was an excellent, excellent doctor. But once again, you've got to throw that Hail Mary and do something different when you're literally fourth. At this point, you're like getting close to 4th and 15 and you're facing a full-on blitz. You can either go for the pass or kick the field goal, but if you keep kicking the field goal, you're not going to win the game, depending on how many points are you behind. My God, I'm using football analogies. I'm going to start sounding like John Madden. It looks like a great day for football. Okay. Unfortunately, we make our football players wear pads. And they don't do all that nifty stuff those guys do over there. Well, then again, basically football over there is soccer. And if this was true and this did happen, if this was true and it did happen, this would be like 1986 all over again, except they fired JNT. But okay, this is what we do know. As far as we know, there was, I think, a deal made to China for at least through like Series 15. And as far as I knew, as of a couple weeks ago, Series 13, if my one source is correct, is already commissioned. So, like I said, there's already been a lot of speculation about ratings. I don't expect them to score as high a ratings as they did last year. Whenever you restart something and all that, things tend to start drifting downward. It's just the nature of the beast. I do hope they do try something different again this year. Flip the script on us a little bit. All right, but there was rumors going around. Pete Matigue was going to take over, and then get ready for this. Here's the one that had me rolling in my seat. Somebody was running around saying Neil Gaiman was going to take over, and I'm like, when's Neil Gaiman going to have the time? Because as far as I know, he's still tied up with American Gods. I don't think that's been canceled yet or anything. So when would we have the time to run Doctor Who in that? Plus, because he had to basically run in and take things over when the other showrunners also, he just did Good Omens. But he had to run in and take over that when the showrunners departed on American Gods. Oh, you're right. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, Sandman's coming to Netflix, which is interesting given, you got Lucifer, which is based on, and let me use the words here, loosely based on the character spinoff from Sandman, but very loosely based. Almost as loosely based as World War Z, the movie, was on the actual book. Exactly. Neil Gaiman's too busy, so I knew that was total horseshit right off the bat. There's no way Neil Gaiman's going to have time to do Doctor Who. Okay, it's not going to happen. Okay, that, and he's got this, and the wife. Okay, so like I said, as of right now, let's treat this as a rumor. I've brought that up 100 times that when Russell T Davies was in charge of Doctor Who, that's funny because for a couple of years there, they were putting out Doctor Who, Torchwood, and the Sarah Jane Adventures, and there were no gap years. Him and Julie Gardner were running 3 series, and there were no gap years. Why the hell was there gap years during the Moffat era? I want to know. It's like, I want to hear the reasoning behind that. There was no reason. Well, I'm not going to bother speculating on a future Doctor until we have it definite that the current one has left. Doctor Who takes forever to finish filming. Are you kidding me? Those guys can pump out, if they really put their minds to it. Yeah, there was no reason for this year either. I'm still trying to figure that out. Once you get momentum rolling on a new product, the worst thing you can do is take the following year off. I'm not looking forward to a new Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'll give it a shot. But, they're still filming right now, Who's books. I heard it could go into September, which could mean that they're filming everything at once. So if they are doing a New Year's Day special for this year, they may go ahead and film the one for the following year as well now. And it would explain why it's taken so damn long. Also, I heard that the filming from this week over on Spencer Road might have been pickup shots and some other stuff for another episode. I think the stuff with Mandip Gill. Okay, you agree with me, Coaster. Yeah, okay, it's September. That's the one story I'm hearing, Kevin. Yeah, that it had something to do with the year off, and they promised a year of Doctor Who for the next 5 years, a series each year. Well, the thing is this. There was an opportunity. You're never going to see a past Doctor back, I don't think, unless it's a modern one. Somebody from the new era. And even then, it would be a guest spot. Got to remember, look at how much they shelled out the film Dump of the Doctor, aka Era of the Zygons. And I think it was like £2 million or something like that for that episode. And most of that was A, cast, B, filming the damn thing in 3D. And that don't even include later on down the line when you had to shell out money for satellite time for that thing. Meanwhile, you could have probably made 3 or 4 specials for what it cost the film Era of the Zygons. You could have probably made at least 3 or 4 hour-long specials. But that wasn't the billboard to the future. Okay, so just a little update there. Like I said, I just wanted to tell everybody, look, for now, until we get an official announcement, treat this as a rumor. Be very, very careful. Like I said, I was getting bombarded that day, so something must have happened. I don't think it was just a rumor off Gallifrey base, because I really don't go to Gallifrey base, and most of my sources don't. Yet I was getting stuff about this, and I'm like, like I said, I've heard filming might end sometime in, like I said, September, but I have nothing definite on that right now, because it's been really weird this year. I'm getting to be a bit uncertain about certain sources and all that. But that's another thing that, good thing that came out of this, by the way, for you folks watching. Hot damn, we finally passed the 5,000 mark, which is something I was beginning to wonder if it was ever going to frickin' happen. Ugh. I was stuck in this limbo for the longest time in the late 4900s. And a lot of people don't realize that in YouTube, if you start out, let's say you got a lot of people on your channel in the beginning, if those channels go inactive and remain inactive for a certain amount of time, sooner or later, the YouTube bots come along and they kick it off. And when they kick that off, congratulations, you've lost a subscriber. And the problem is, I had a lot of people from the early days who are no longer there. Next thing you know, they're gone. And that's why I was like, for a while there. Far as I know, you're getting 10 episodes for Series 12. There's been no announcement regarding anything otherwise. You're getting 10 episodes and a special. And like I said, the last I heard, more than likely 50 minutes each, or varying right around that time. Like I said, one story I heard was a New Year's Day special, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later, they're going to start Series 12. I'll believe it when I see it at this point, because things are just up in the air. Because now I'm questioning everybody, okay? Now, the reason why the Chris Marshall thing started is because he announced he was leaving. The time of him and Capaldi announced they were leaving were within 48 hours of each other. And a lot of people thought, okay, the real reason he's leaving Death in Paradise is to come back and do Doctor Who in Cardiff. But it turns out, no, it just was a big coincidence. He was leaving Death in Paradise because he had a young child that he had not had a lot of time to see growing up, who had been born, I think he wasn't even 2 years old. And, when you film Death in Paradise, they film it in the tropics. So he was spending like almost 6 months of the year more around the world from his family, and he didn't want to keep doing that. So it was just literally the timing. Everybody's like, oh, yeah. Oh, this is definite. Oh, God. Because it was within 48 hours of each other. Peter Capaldi announces he's leaving, and he announces he's leaving Death in Paradise. Well, let me say this right now, definite. I have heard nothing about a Christmas special. Christmas special is 100% rumor at this point. As far as I know, they're staying with Sunday. There's been rumors about it going back to Saturday, but once again, nobody has come out and said, we're going back to Saturday. When I hear the BBC say that, then I'll believe it. But like I said, it's kind of weird who comes out with a statement about all this? The Radio Times. The one guy writes him and he says, well, the Chibnall didn't quit. And it's like, the rumor wasn't that Chibnall quit. The rumor was that Chibnall was fired. So, yes, I do miss the Christmas specials as well. But the reason why they did it, if you go back and look over the new series, when Doctor Who does Christmas, it eventually gets buried. You got like Mrs. Brown, yada yada, EastEnders, Corey, tap dancing bears unto the stars or whatever come out on Christmas. And hell, even the Queen's speech didn't do all that well this year for Christmas or last Christmas. And meanwhile, Doctor Who comes out on New Year's and it gets like 5.6 million. And it was number 2 to Luther. It was the second most watched program on the day. And also, we have to start looking at the fact that, people are watching more on streaming than they are on television anymore. Exactamundo, beef. Like I said, the Radio Times is not an official source. They didn't name anybody by name. Matter of fact, hang on a second. Hello? Yeah, I'm a highly placed source at the British Broadcasting Corporation. Everything's fine. Just dandy. Yeah. Hang on, let me go change my shorts. Anyway. No, things are just great. Things are just dandy. I'm bloody Quentin. Chibs, don't kill him. Wait, things are fine. Everything's okay. No. That's not gunfire. Matter of fact, here's another one. No. Jodie Whittaker did not say she was going to pop a cap of Sheffield steel into anybody's ass. Okay, all right, I got to get on. I love that phone to death, but I love that. I found that at an antique mall. That old phone there. Yes, kids, you will never know the struggle. There was no such thing as smartphones. That was the phone, basically. It was on a wire. It went into a wall. Ugh, and no, you couldn't get no internet because there wasn't one. Sadly, yeah, it's the curse of the beast, man. This poor little phone today, 8 more battery power than I think it ever has in the whole time I've got switched to this one. And I think what I got done today, it was like, oh, hell, it's not even at half power now, and it's been sitting on the charger. But like I said, the good news is we're up to 5,000 subscribers. Also, I want to make a mention while I'm here because before we do head off, Think Motion Studios, I just want to say thank them all very much. The new graphic you've been seeing on the news vids, Think Motion Studios did that. If you ever get a chance, run over to their channel. He's going to be doing his own live action series he's working on called Doctor Who Beyond. And I'm going to have a bit more information on that coming up in the future. But he's been doing a lot of great stuff for me here with not asked for a thing other than saying, look, mention me every now and then. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. I agree with Beef. We're probably never going to get the full story. It's going to be another one of the mysterious things like, remember that little, how many here remember somebody called Caroline Skinner? Remember her? The big blow up with Moffat that people got on video, and the next thing you know, she's quietly off Doctor Who just before the filming on the 50th began, and her, no, yeah, because the last thing I think she worked on was An Adventure in Space and Time. Next thing you know, she's getting a bonus fluffy position at BBC Drama, and then she just quietly fades away. Yeah, anybody remember the name Caroline Skinner? Faded away. Just disappeared. Like a species slowly going extinct. Oh my God, did somebody actually donate money? Did that happen? I'll believe it when I see it. Because, yeah, the super chat is on if you want to throw a couple bucks this way before we go. Every little bit helps. Believe it or not, I'm actually reconsidering doing a Patreon account because I want to get some money put together and maybe get Sophie Aldred back into the audios. It's going to be a bit trickier now, though, because I don't know if I think she's back under her one agent. I'd like to have her come on and reprise the role of Dr. Liberty, but that's going to take a lot of cash. It ain't cheap. Also, if you haven't had a chance, run over and watch Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I've been helping them with a few panels every now and then. I have a great time over there. Also, if you have a little bit of time, I've been watching Doctor Who Velocity, and that's pretty interesting stuff going on there. But watch out, it's a female doctor. Now watch, why is this going to turn out to be another one of them super chats where I never actually see the money? Probably a fake account. I don't know. Oh, look, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Hang on, I got... What? What do you mean you saw him shoving poor Chibs into a wood chipper? Oh. So once again, folks, we'll remain calm. It could, like I said, even if a blow up did happen, we'll probably never hear the full truth on it. Whittaker and Chibnall are not leaving, as far as we know. And I love how everybody assumes it because, he got fired, Whittaker's going with him. You have to remember, Whittaker would still be under contract, as is Chibs. They could be heavily, well, that's if they bothered to hire a solicitor. Doctor Who Velocity is a fan series. Just type in Doctor Who Velocity on your search bar. It should come right up. Like I said, it's just fun to watch a fan series every now and then. They do, pretty good for the budget they have. That was speculation for the Doctor Who announcement. If something major had happened, someone told me it'd be like 2 to 3 days. So if anything did happen and anything like that, it'd probably be like Monday before you did hear anything about it anyway. But I've been trying to tell everybody today, calm down, stay calm. Until we get an official announcement that the shit has hit the fan, let's relax, but always remain skeptical. Yeah, I think she's going to be around. She's going to do a 3-year and then leave like everybody else. Oh, here we go. Philip, contrary to what you've heard, Series 11 was in the top 100 DVD sales for 21 weeks. Oh, yeah, sales are bombing. Which, by the way, ties a couple of other previous seasons. I don't have it in front of me. I just remember it was in there for 21 weeks. Yet you got guys taking pictures of ones they found, and I found this buried underneath a hobo's ass in a back alley. Or my favorite ones, the one video of the kid who bought it and you see him throwing it in the trash. Guarantee you, folks, second the camera went off, he pulled it out and put it right back into his player. Oh, Jody. Oh. Philip, don't tell me you're an expert on consumer sales. I know you. Lines! Oh. If you want to provide useful information, send me your lines. Okay. The gender of the Doctor is not important to the series continuity. I don't know where the hell people get this shit from. I've already explained this in a post. Doctor Who's continuity has changed so much from the beginning, yet everybody bitches. Matter of fact, let's have a little refresher while you're all here, shall we? The planet Gallifrey was not named until the Time Warrior, which was in the Third Doctor era. Time Lords didn't exist, or at least in any form of title, until the War Games. The 12er generation limit didn't come in until Deadly Assassin, which was the Fourth Doctor era. Also, everybody remember that guy, Omega? who like did all the stuff to give Time Lords their powers, and then it became Rassilon. That's what I mean. I love how people jump up and down and go, it's going to affect continuity, when Doctor Who's continuity has changed so much over the last 56 years. Matter of fact, the only reason Doctor could rejuvenate, remember, regeneration didn't even get named until Planet of the Spiders, which, by the way, end of the Third Doctor era. See what I mean? People are bitching about continuity. I remember in Pertwee alone, there was like 3 different explanations for Atlantis. Look at the Shakespeare Code and then go to Big Finish and listen to, The Kingmaker. And Big Finish gets all their scripts approved to the BBC before they can put them together. I don't think it's going to be Michelle Gomez if the Master returns. One report said Sacha Dhawan, but I'm doubting everything now. Exactly. Yet people bitch because the Doctor changed bodies and it came out without the twig and berries. I'm not kidding. I really wish that there was an alternate reality where some form of social media existed back in the 70s. Can you imagine the bitch fits they'd be pitching when Pertwee came out? What do you mean the Doctor can't travel time anywhere? He's trapped with a bunch of Earth people. Oh my God, this is so PC. Oh God, it's environmental PC. The Doctor's become an eco-terrorist. Oh man. Matter of fact, if you look around, there's letters you can find that people put in the Radio Times who are bitching about Patrick Troughton. I'm not kidding. If the hardcore traditionalists had their way and said, look, it all has to stay this way, the show would have died with William Hartnell back in 1966. It'd have been canceled. If these guys hadn't played outside the box then, you wouldn't have even had Troughton and onward and onward and onward. It's just, like I said, I had a friend of mine who was going, it wasn't the right time for a female Doctor. And I'm like, well, when was that going to be? Was there ever going to be a right time? No. But somebody went out there and said, look, I want to try this. It's something different. It's something new. That's a good question. Consider when you look at some of the storylines, even going back into the first Doctor era, the Daleks kind of represented Nazis and they killed people. Not exactly child material, was it? Nobody pushed, dude. All right, pushing political views. Let's wind back to Planet of the Giant, shall we? We're pushing environmental politics on the people. Let's wind back to the Daleks. They're Nazis. They're bad. Let's wind back to, oh God, Third Doctor era multiple times. Big business. So I'm not kidding. I love how people are saying Doctor Who's suddenly become PC when the show has been PC for 56 freaking years. It's been pushing political views ever since then. Get ready for this. There's the one that still has me rolling laughing. I don't want to sound insulting, but somebody actually put in the comment box that the episode Rosa, they should have done it in an allegorical form because addressing it directly was too upfront. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. Racism is okay as long as it's sugar-coated in a sci-fi format for you. Addressing racism is what I meant, is okay, but it had to be watered down in an allegorical format for you to comprehend and or tolerate. And I'm sorry, but as far as I was concerned, Rosa, I'm not kidding. I was just incredibly impressed with the fact that they tackled that so head on. I really was. because it's a time nobody wants to remember. But wasn't one of the great sayings is those who forget their history are doomed to repeat it? I think every now and then, especially with the way things have been going, especially in America, I don't know how it's going over there, that we need to look back and realize just how ugly we were and how ugly we're becoming again. So, yeah, the Daleks still are. Well, the Daleks have become more of a joke than anything. You see, that's one thing I liked about Resolution and all that. Daleks were frickin' killing people again. Same thing with Into the Dalek. Daleks were not to be cuddly, kind, and your friends. But, oh. Well, then again, I'm a guy who writes about a guy who has a Dalek as his sidekick, so I can't go too far into that territory. But there is a reason why the character of Eric is in Dr. Freedom and Eric. And that's going to be made apparent a little bit further down the line. If you're all listening, and I know there's some people who are, and I'm glad you are. Yeah, watch The Green Death and say that with a straight face. Watch Planet of the Giants and say Doctor Who isn't pushing a political view on you. Hell, watch just about anything back in the early era. Yeah, look at Frontier in Space. Look at, The Mutants, segregation. Segregation and discrimination in The Mutants. But that's pushing it on us. That's what I mean. I would love to visit an alternate reality where they had to deal with this bullshit of social media back in the old series. Exactly. I agree with you. I loved Rosa. The only thing that was bad about Rosa was the villain, and I think that could have been done a lot better with the villain. But the rest of the story was pretty bang on. It's not just the fact the Doctor's female. It's just there's a lot of people out there who don't like change. There are misogynists out there, but they're just in a small bit out there. They're not everybody who hated Series 11 is a misogynist. They just don't like change. And the problem is the very essence of this show is change. That's what I don't understand. There are so many people out there who watch this show and the message of it just rolls over their back like water off a turtle's ass. It just amazes me. It's like I've seen people who are diehard fans of this show from the classic era who are total bullies, and I'm looking at it like, did you learn anything? Did you actually get the message? Because I did a long time ago. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting it's a 5-hour difference right now. So some of you folks are probably heading for bed who are watching from the UK. Like I said, the writing could have been better. I gave Series 11, like, highest, I'd give it a 70%, which is about a C+. Yeah, but at the same time, there were great episodes in there. I liked Kerblam, and people look at me like I'm a nutbag. There was even parts of the Saranga Conundrum that I did like, but overall, the episode to me was just like a flashbang, boom, boom, it's done with some gremlins. But there were a couple scenes here and there I did like. I liked Resolution. Matter of fact, I had some people looking at me like I was stone cold crazy because I liked the Battle of Ranskoor of Collis because it tied things up, with Tim Jar, whatever you want to call him, the Stenza. Yeah, well, you got to remember the Children in Need sketch. Some were good, some were just outrageously bad. Matter of fact, yeah, guys, I hate to tell you some bad news, but my Tom Baker cardboard cutout quit, and Jody's thinking about going with him. I don't know how I'm going to stop him. I liked Resolution. I can agree with you on that. Now, a lot of people were freaking out over the unit thing. Now, I heard one report that Kate Stewart was back, but like I said, I don't want to confirm anything anymore. Resolution was good. And the only reason they did what they did with Unit is there's one thing fans always do. How many here have watched an episode? And I want to get a hell yeah out of you if you agree with me. Have watched an episode and it takes place on Earth, contemporary times, and you wondered, where the fuck was Unit? How many here have done that? Richard, you're delusional. You're delusional. Go away. You honestly, if you've been watching this show for 56 years and you don't think Doctor Who always had a political element, you're delusional. Yeah, how many people have wondered that? And that's all they did. They didn't disband Unit. Unit is suspended pending review, which means Unit can always come back. There's no thing saying they disbanded. If they said they were disbanded and shut down, then okay, I'd be throwing a fit saying, what the fuck? Sorry about the language, but it came out. But it was their way of saying, okay, Unit's not available. Because we already know Torchwood's pretty much gone at this point. Because this way they can tie up the line without having to go into bringing a bunch of side characters. They could have made the soldiers Unit soldiers, but then people are going to be going, okay, guess what would have happened? If you'd had Unit soldiers show up in Resolution, anybody here in the comment box want to ask what the next questions would have been? If you can guess it, go ahead. Okay, it went quiet. If Unit had shown up in Resolution, just even a bunch of soldiers, the next question would have been is, where's Kate Stewart? Where's Osgood? It was a way to save time and money on budget. It was a way to save, a complicated plot thing where you got to explain, why isn't such and such available? Now, they did it a lot, in the beginning, when Unit showed up, with such and such as in Peru and shit like that. Or Liz Shaw is up on the space station when sadly Caroline John was already, I believe, dead at that point. No, there was no court. I just got, is there anything to say before I find you guilty and a dirty misogynist old white middle-aged bastard? That's all that happened with that thing with Ingrid Oliver. She took one look at my profile picture, said I was a middle-aged white male, therefore I was being sexist. Okay, like I said, there was one report that Kate Stewart was going to show up in episode 1, but now I'm discounting everything. I really am. So, like I'd like to say it's definitely going to happen. I'd say, okay, don't hold your breath, okay? Like now I'm putting the Sea Devils in the doubtful pile until I hear anything different or more about it. There's a rumor. 2 of my sources say that the Jadoon episode's a 2-parter. And that's going to be like episodes, I think, 6 and 7. But like I said, I want to see definite on that. I want to see more. As far as I know, Unit and Torchwood never got along. It's really weird because you got to remember, originally, I don't know how many know this story, but originally Unit was the United Nations Intelligence Task Force. And you'll notice if you go back and watch the first season with Eccleston, they do refer to it as such. But believe it or not, get ready for this shit. The UN representatives sent a letter to the BBC stating they did not want to be associated with a paramilitary force. It's freaking fiction, you bunch of stuffed up tight little stuffed shirts. It's freaking fiction. And plus, Unit existed back in this, counting when they first appeared. I think it was back in the Invasion, wasn't it? I'm going off memory. I got to go back and rewatch some of my Troughton and stuff like that in Hartnell. I feel bad because I haven't in a long time. I've been rewatching a lot of Pertwee lately. I wonder why. No, I don't have the Series 10 box set. It's just a lot of stuff going on right now. The Doctor had the screwdriver from like the 3rd Doctor, 4th Doctor, quarter of the way into the fifth, lost it in the visitation, got it back in the TV movie, and has been using it ever since. So if you're saying you got problems with the Doctor using the sonic screwdriver, Richard, then basically why don't you just say you don't like the whole modern series altogether? Because that's something that's been going on. I love how one of the things everybody was bitching about in Series 11, they're using the sonic screwdriver too much. People have been bitching about that since the first season of the new show. Like I said, I don't know what show this guy's watching. It just seems to me like he's one of them guys who watches to have something to complain about. Oh, thanks. Hey, God. There you go. That's kind of fitting. I didn't realize that for today that, Yep, you're right. But he didn't use it regularly until the third Doctor, when originally it appeared as I think it was the door opener prop or something like that. And then, because he did use it a bit here and there and there. Then it became just more and more frequent from then on. Yeah, a lot of people like it. I was going to order one, but I want one of the ones with the spinning end and the more detailed ones. I don't like that other one they issued. Like I said, I don't know what show you're watching if all you're doing is complaining about it. Like I said, the update is, you're right. There's really, all I've heard so far now is just sit down, relax. If anything did happen, we'll know about it by we may never know all the details. But I don't think Chibnall's fired, because I think something would have been really out by now. Everybody was running around saying there was going to be an announcement today at 2:30 this afternoon UK time, and it never happened. All we got is an article from the Radio Times saying, as far as they know, it's just a rumor. But the problem is, they're saying that Chris Chibnall quit. That's not what everybody was saying. They said he was fired. Okay, so let me leave you with the following words. Relax, remain calm until such time that you get an announcement from the BBC. So that's the only thing I can figure out. Yeah, is the Radio Times article was supposed to be the big announcement. Yeah, the TARDIS is being used too much. No, the sonic screwdriver was just a shortcut, and it depends on how you use it. Everybody's used it, so I don't know why everybody was singling out Series 11. Moffat used it a ton. RTD used it a ton. JNT used it a ton. Chances are some people's mothers and daughters have used it a ton, but I won't go into that. Exactly. Right now, this is what I want you all to do. Relax, remain calm until we find out something further. Because I'm about to sign off here, because this is going on an hour and I had no idea this was going to run this long. I just wanted to update everybody and say, look, let me read this one more time. According to the Radio Times, they're saying that this turned out to be all a rumor. All right. They're saying, quote unquote, a well-placed source said this is all nonsense. It originated and spread through an online rumor mill. They're trying to accuse Gallifrey Base in an offhanded way without actually naming it, which I found interesting. And then, of course, I had a friend of mine who got a letter from the BBC basically saying, we've not been made aware of any issue with any filming, and as Doctor Who's an important part, blah, blah, blah. So even the BBC saying that, allegedly nothing's wrong. Allegedly. Exactly. The Radio Times is not an official source. Like I said, I could call them up on my phone right now and go, I'm a high-placed source in the BBC. All I know is Chibnall, he was having a bad hair day, and he took one of the boom mics and he stuck one of the guys in the head, and see what I mean? It's when you say it's a well-placed source, Because, I don't know. Do they have well-placed sources anymore? I love this. Yeah, I would trust Radio Times more than Rotten Tomatoes. I can't believe that one page has been held up now as you should believe what Radio Times says. Or no, not Radio, Rotten Tomatoes. Because, well, they tried getting rid of the Sonic, Kevin. They did. The Sonic was destroyed in the Visitation back in the Fifth Doctor era. He went hands-free for the most part. He didn't get his Sonic back until the TV movie, if I remember right. So the Sonic has become too well established in Doctor Who lore, like the TARDIS. So I don't see a point anytime where they're going to get rid of it. Because even when they went to the Sonic sunglasses, a lot of people were not happy about it. But the reason why I think Peter Capaldi liked it is because any kid then could go out to their local store, pick up $1 pair of cheap sunglasses. Why am I thinking of a ZZ Top tune? And yeah, but everybody's used the Sonic too much, according to the fans. Seventh Doctor didn't get one until the TV movie. The Sixth Doctor had a Sonic Lance for a couple episodes, if I remember right here and there. But it didn't do as much as the Screwdriver did, I don't think. I'm going off the brain box here, okay? Because that's the way she likes to hold it. That's her own style. Also, you got to remember, Matt Smith used to look at his when he was done every now and then. You ever notice that? He'd scan something and then he'd hold it up and he'd look at it like he's reading something. So that's not exactly a new phenomenon. David, who listened to this? So yeah, if I remember right, yeah, the Sonic got destroyed in the Visitation. It didn't reappear, I think, till the TV movie. And by the way, here's a little bit of thing before we go. If you watch the TV movie and look real close, in the scene in the beginning where the Doctor was sealing the Master in, he was holding the Sonic screwdriver backwards. I can't remember if they ever fixed that, in an updated edition or not, but yeah, Lance or screwdriver. Well, folks, I'm going to get going because I didn't plan on running an hour, but like I said, remain calm. Don't lose your shit until we get an official announcement that the world is ending, the sky is falling, and that, ants have taken over the studio or whatever. Then panic. All right. I agree with you. The episodes could have been better. Like I said, I rate Series 11 at like around a 70%, about a C+. But there were great episodes in there. No, there has been no word of a Christmas special this year. I have no idea where that's coming from. Well, I got to get going, folks. So please take care of yourselves. Remain calm. Good night. And I'll see you all in the future. If I hear anything more, I'll let you all know. Okay. So sit tight.